Hey! So welcome to Nate's MMA Corner, the greatest MMA talk show on the face of the planet. So I'm Nate, and today's episode is a UFC on Fuel post-fight for Brian Stann and Wanderlei Silva, and a pre-fight for UFC 158, George St. Pierre versus Nick Diaz. Yep, so let's get straight to it. First of all, I'll cover UFC UFC on Fuel TV coverage, and then after that we'll cover pre-fight warm-up for UFC 158. Wow, in Montreal. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, Wanderlei Silva defeated Brian Stann in a light heavyweight main event. A great fight. Yeah, that ended in second round KO, Wanderlei Silva. Pow! Wow! I mean, it just came out of nowhere. They were standing, banging, and Brian Stann got caught. And, my good friend, Brian Stann, he'll be back. Yeah, the UFC likes him, I like him, a lot of the fans like him. He'll be back, he'll come back stronger and better next time. And that got fight of the night. They were standing and banging the whole first round. The second round, they were still standing and banging, and Brian Stann just got caught. Wanderlei Silva won for the first time in Japan for the last umpteen years. He's been gone from Japan for a while, and he's been fighting elsewhere in the UFC ever since leaving Pride. The co-main event was Marquard versus Stefan Struve in a heavyweight match. Yeah, Stefan Struve, great guy, met him, hung out with him for a little bit in Vegas. Heartbroken that he lost, but he'll come back. Hopefully he broke his jaw getting knocked out by Marquard. Yeah, in the second round, or third round, my bad, third round. And, Marquard is, as of right now, fighting Junior Dos Santos at UFC 160. And, Marquard has heavy hands. It'll be great to see a heavy-handed stand-up striker versus Junior Dos Santos, who loves to strike, but also has black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under the Nogueira brothers. So that should be a real exciting fight. I would imagine Junior would be the favorite in that matchup. We got Yushin Okami versus Hector Lombard in a middleweight fight on UFC on Fuel TV. That was pretty devastating for all the Hector Lombard fans out there. But I'm not one of them! Oh! Yeah, Yushin Okami, he's a good friend of Chalsen. Yeah, Yushin Okami won by split decision. And now he's back in the mix, easily in the top 10 in middleweight division. Well, I mean, he's always been in the top 10 for last umpteen times, but he's definitely gone up the rankings now, beating a tough guy like Hector Lombard, former Bellator middleweight champ. And where does Hector Lombard go from here now? I mean, he's 1-2 in his UFC career. Hector Lombard, they had high hopes for him. We'll see where he goes from here. And then we had Hani Yahya versus Mizuto Hirota featherweight battle. That Hani Yahya uses grappling and superior grappling. He's I believe a second-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's looking good right now in the featherweight division. Yeah, he uses grappling against Mizuto to get the unanimous decision victory. Just ground control. Sometimes that's all the grapplers need to do, is just ground control. A lot of people think it's boring, but it actually takes a lot of strength and conditioning to do that for 3 rounds. Exciting fight. Diego Sanchez versus Takanori Gomi. That was a catchweight because Diego Sanchez did not make weight. And I can't believe it, because he came in at, I believe, 158, and he could have just lost the 2 pounds. He had time to lose 2 extra pounds and make weight. I believe Takanori Gomi won the fight, but I could see how Diego Sanchez won the fight by controversial split decision. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with both those guys. Takanori Gomi, great fighter, legend in the sport. Diego Sanchez, UFC veteran. It's tough to say where either one of these will go, but they're both still great fighters. Yeah, it was a real close fight, hard-fought fight. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Is it was Diego Sanchez was getting going for takedowns and whatnot using his wrestling, and Takanori Gomi was good at getting out of it. So on one hand you got a guy that was aggressive, getting ground control. On the other hand you got a guy in Takanori Gomi getting out of it, standing up, getting some strikes in the mix. So I could see how that fight could go either way. Dong Hyun Kim versus Sayur Bahada's Zerata. But that was a welterweight clash. Yeah, Dong Hyun Kim won by unanimous decision, and yeah, that was just cut and dry. Yeah, another ground control. Dong Hyun Kim, great at judo, just pounded him out. 3 rounds, got the decision, got his win bonus, left Japan happy, and yeah, good job Dong Hyun Kim. I believe he's one of the best welterweights out there right now. And okay, so now let's do a quick rundown of UFC 158. St. Pierre versus Nick Diaz. Yeah, welterweight title match. And yeah, Nick Diaz coming off a loss to Carlos Condit in interim welterweight title match. George St. Pierre, yeah, beat Carlos Condit, unified the belt. And St. Pierre, they say, is a 5-1 underdog. I mean, yeah, St. Pierre is a 5-1 favored against Nick Diaz. I think it'll be a decision win for GSP, George St. Pierre, because Nick Diaz is hard to knock out, hard to submit with his Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So I don't believe St. Pierre could submit him, but maybe he can because it is St. Pierre. Yeah, it's going to come down to, I think, points. St. Pierre lands more, gets a decision. The co-main event, Carlos Condit versus Johnny Hendricks. They say it's a #1 contenders match. Yeah, Carlos Condit, you know, great fighter. Met him again, also in Anaheim. This time in Anaheim, and great guy. Good luck to Carlos Condit. Good luck to Johnny Hendricks. I like both you guys. Jake Ellenberger, Nate Marquard is on the main card, welterweight clash, and yeah, it should be good. Yeah, that's a welterweight clash, and Jake Ellenberger is ranked number 6 right now. Nate Marquard, former Strikeforce welterweight champ, beating Tyrone Woodley to win the title. Looked impressive there. Didn't look too good against Tarek Safadine because his legs got busted up in that fight. Now, yeah, I believe this fight could go either way. This is if there's one fight on here that's definitely a coin toss on the main card, it's definitely this one. Jake Ellenberger has great wrestling, vicious knockout power. Nate Marquard, veteran in the sport, has a gazillion black belts. Fan of both these guys. I just want to see a good fight. Chris Camozzi, Nick Ring, middleweight fight. Yeah, Nick Ring, I believe, should have lost to Court McGee based on fight metric stats. But yeah, Nick Ring won that against Court McGee, and yeah, today at UFC 158 fights Chris Camozzi. Chris Camozzi, good guy, great fighter, has been in the UFC for a while now, and we'll see where he goes. Only time will tell. And then lightweight fight on the main card is Mike Ricci and Colin Fletcher. Both finalists on The Ultimate Fighter, different seasons though. Mike Ricci, finalist on season 16 of The Ultimate Fighter, and lost to Colton Smith by decision. Again, a grappler, dominated him, ground control. But I believe, yeah, Mike Ricci is still a great fighter, and he could bounce back. Colin Fletcher, yeah, he's good. He's good. I'll just leave it at that. He's good. Yeah, yeah, just good. Okay, so anyways, that wraps up Nate's MMA Corner, and hopefully you guys tune in. I plan on doing more with the show and doing more episodes. Plan on doing a post-fight episode next for UFC 158. So, yeah. See ya.